Okay, so I've been trying to make a video on this game for a really long while now. I think ever since it was revealed like 5 or 6 years ago. So no, this game isn't inspired or didn't copy Grounded, the game that came out 2 years ago, which is the same thing pretty much, an open world survival game where you're the size of an ant. This game that you're seeing here, called Smalland, isn't a copy of Grounded. In fact, in my opinion, it looks even better than Grounded for the fact that it's more realistic in a sense that you actually feel that you're an ant. I've been following this game, and every updates that the developers put out really makes it feel like they have some passion put into it. This is a project that they really put their heart and souls into, and that's what I love when I make videos on indie games. I tried to send several emails to the developers over the years, but they didn't respond at all, so maybe they're just busy, or they just don't want to respond to me, because I wanted to get some HD clips to share to you guys. But the clips that you're seeing here are not in HD, so just keep in mind that these clips are just not the actual quality of Smalland. But let's get into what this game actually is. And in my opinion, this game actually makes you feel like you're an ant, as opposed to Grounded. In my opinion, Grounded feels more like a, I don't know, colorful AAA game, some kind of cartoony game with a story, with little robots and such. But Smalland is just about you surviving in a massive world with insects, and you and your friend, or just alone if you'd like, you can build your house pretty much anywhere that you like. That's really what I love about this game, is that it feels realistic. It feels like you're in an ant world pretty much. You can tame a lot of creatures, you can go and fly with them, you can have them in your base, and everything that this game offers, like boss fights, dungeons and such, are made in a way that just feels realistic to this kind of game. You're not gonna actually enter dungeons that wouldn't fit what Smalland is all about. Instead, you'll be navigating through a dark swamp and across broken dead trees, or trying to figure out a way to get through an overgrown maze while avoiding various hungry predators. Your major goal in this game is to make the land safe for your people and in and out of the ground. However, gameplay wise, caves that are underground are usually small pockets of gameplay with risk and rewards that the developers created, so it'll actually never feel safe. Whether it's inside an abandoned vehicle, a hollow log, or a waste bin, the developers have created the equivalent of caves to explore. Mounts insects in Smalland have different strengths and weaknesses in different situations, and your mounts will sometimes attack when you attack like a loyal steed, or initially retreat, but attack if you are attacked. Some will attack a creature on the same level of the food chain, while others may run away. Some may also cause trouble and get into fights that you might not want to have. They are trying to give the creatures as much personality as possible, but also look and feel like real-life creatures, and you'll also be able to join factions of different creatures, for example bees, spiders, or ants, which will have its own rewards and benefits based on its strength. By the way, this game has no classes at all, but you adapt your playstyle using different armor types and weapons, allowing you to stylize or combine abilities from different species of creatures. This game will be absolutely filled with different species that you'll come across. This won't be no small early access game where there's nothing to do. This game's developer and publisher are actual professionals who've worked on a lot of previous games in the past that have gone to be pretty successful for indie games. Smalland is one big map, no loading between areas. The biomes are quite diverse for different reasons, but make up a bigger sandbox game world for you to play in. It takes a while to reach, but each areas are connected. You just have to work out how you're going to get to each one safely. The player has complete freedom of the world, so if you can fight, sneak, glide, fly, jump, or however you want to get past the various dangers, you can. So you can get into areas that you are not prepared for example. Some of these creatures roaming in certain areas are bigger and deadlier because of their size. Others carry venoms that can kill you quickly if you are not prepared. The more deadly the area though, the better the resources, so you could do a lot of grinding in a relatively safe area and have the freedom to build and craft what you like. Or you could be a little more adventurous as the rewards match the dangers. You find a better quality of resources in these more dangerous higher tier areas, which saves you a lot of time. It is entirely up to you as you have the freedom, and your progression is non-linear. It is your choice. The game will also have a range of different weapons that have different classes, and each class has a particular style. For instance, they have swords, which are good all-rounders, and also hammers that are not ideal against multiple enemies and swarms, but are great at delivering a big hit on a creature that outweighs these small folk. The aim for Smalland is approximately 10 players in a game at once for now. They're making it as flexible as possible for everyone to play solo, with friends or strangers, or to play as a group, or just players be in the same world occupied by other people that you can bump into occasionally. Everything has been designed around these principles, and they're aiming for as many players as possible per game. Day and night will also affect things, as well as the weather and the seasons. Some of these effects will be very minor, others more important to strategy. The weather itself changes per season, as does the temperature, which also fluctuates. So the chances of rain, snow are all more likely to be heavier and lower, or raise the temperature, making it too cold or hot. This is set up to be organic and less scripted, so the developers create the feeling of a living, breathing world rather than being a repeating and totally reliable process. Alright guys, for more on Smalland, make sure you support this video and subscribe.